Welcome back, guys, to your Outlawed Roundup, Grimerica Outlawed Roundup, that is, for February 17th. I can't decide if time's speeding up or slowing down because in some ways it seems like it's going by fast. But then in other ways, like, I'll think back to like when I went fishing the other day and it seems like it was fucking forever ago. So it's like, which way, what's happening? Yeah. Either way, it's February 17th already, 2026, with shooting Bigfoot and Angels Don't Play That Trumpet.
Do you know what that is?
Got something to do with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse?
Nope.
Is there trumpets involved?
Nope.
In that? No. Is there a trumpet involved in the apocalypse? Oh, I think there is, right? Someone plays a trumpet?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Bunch of trumpets get played there. No, it's not that trumpet.
No, I don't know.
This is what a crazy time. I've so much stuff, totally overwhelmed. The conspiracies are flowing, feeling good about a lot of things. We were right about a lot of things, trying to not get black pilled, but here's one. This is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Scientists have now found all of the DNA and RNA bases in meteorites, so it suggests that we didn't even originate on Earth. We're from space.
I've seen that. Yeah. I think I have that. Actually, yeah, I've seen that. It suggests humans didn't originate on the first time science have identified all 5 of the nucleobases, adenine, guanine, blah, 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 that form the blueprint of life in meteorites. So life's just shooting around all over the place, or did somebody get it
here? Yeah. Summon it. Maybe they summoned it. Who knows, dude? This and then the Kim.com and the Elon fight. This is crazy too, because X went through some security issues and they had problems. I think we have a problem with streaming on X right now, and supposedly, Palantir was hacked. There's like all this stuff about Palantir going around so what's that's why that stuff is going viral on X, because that Alex Harp, when he was in that investors meeting saying he's gonna they're gonna do that to people.
Do what?
That's going viral.
Oh, prediction.
And Kim.com just said trusting Thiel with your security is like trusting Epstein with your kids. It's just, dude, this is getting crazy.
I also noticed Kim.com said Yi was right. We need Yi back.
Who? Yay?
Yeah. So
well, that's the weird part of all these files, like the Goyim. It's Epstein is kind of, it's almost like this whole anti-Semitism thing was protecting him and his whole crew. So it's super interesting to see that come about.
Well, we should mention, if you don't listen to the other podcast, check it out. Also, we should mention, if you're a free member, this is your chance to get the extension of the show. We've got a promotion going right now where you can get a free month. So you could pause the show right now, go there, get your free month, and get signed up for Plus and try it out and see if it's something you like. If you like it, stick around. The code is free month, all capitals, no spaces.
Yeah, for sure. And here's the website right here. Oh, there's a little pop-up.
Pop-up on the website. I put a pop-up. Yeah, that comes
change color, actually.
I should have changed the color. It kind of matches, though, right? This is my first pop-up I've ever made.
So here's all our episodes here. Dave Smith and some roundups here. Andre Malosh, Josh Slocum, Payman Ascari, Jeff Gross. Goes all the way down forever.
All the way down.
Infinity.
So do you know what my title's about?
Your title is called Shooting Bigfoot? No, I don't. No, what is it about?
Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see. So where do you want to?
Well, here I've got a whole section. Like, I saved up all this stuff on robots and drones, right? And it's getting overwhelming now. So I thought I better just talk about it all, show you all these awesome examples of robots and drones. So that's going to take up a big portion of mine. And then I've got some nastier stuff about, EU censorship and the election fraud and some of that sort of more like USA geopolitical stuff and corruption and all that.
I do have some Canada stuff, some UFO stuff, ancient world stuff, truth about addiction, parenting advice, and my seminal piece. So let's why don't we
Why don't you go through a whole bunch of your first half stuff, and then I'll jump into the robots and drones, and I'll save the nasty stuff for the second half, like the more sensorial stuff.
Censorious.
Because I do have some Epstein stuff because I just couldn't couldn't stay away from it completely.
All right, well, let's start out with this. This is some parenting advice I thought might be good to play on the show. I don't know who this guy is. It says Ready, Set, Parent on there.
You need to understand something that parents these days have long since forgotten and are going to have to relearn again. Your grandparents knew this, but today's generation of parents doesn't seem to. And that is, you do not get to design your children. Nature would never have permitted that to happen. Evolution would not have allowed a generation of a species to be so influenced by the previous generation. It hasn't happened, and it doesn't happen, and it especially doesn't happen in children. You do not design your children. And yet we have the Mozart effect, the belief that if I play classical music to my uterus when I'm pregnant, I'm going to have a genius. The fact that if I can just put enough crib toys over his crib, he's going to have all these neurons exploding with synapses and be a brilliant mathematician. You don't get that degree of power. Does that mean stimulation doesn't matter? No, it means a stimulation environment is better than a deprived environment. But it doesn't mean that the more stimulation you add into the environment, the better it gets. It's a threshold. There is enough stimulation that every normal brain needs to develop. And once you're past that, which 98% of you are, the rest of it is out of your hands. What we have learned in the last 20 years of research in neuroimaging, behavior genetics, developmental psychology, neuropsychology can be boiled down to this phrase. Your child is born with more than 400 psychological traits that will emerge as they mature, and they have nothing to do with you. So the idea that you are going to engineer personalities and IQ and academic achievement skills and all these other things just isn't true. Your child is not a blank slate on which you get to write. The better view is that your child is a genetic mosaic of your extended family, which means this is a unique combination of the traits that run in your family line. I like the shepherd view. You are a shepherd. You don't design the sheep. The engineering view makes you responsible for everything that goes right and everything that goes wrong. This is why parents come to us with such guilt, more guilt than we've ever seen in prior generations, because parents today believe that it's all about them and what they do. And if they don't get it right, or if their child has a disability, they've done something wrong, when in fact the opposite is true. This has nothing to do with your particular brand of parenting. So I would rather that you stop thinking.
Well, some of the disabilities might be your fault.
Engineer and step back and say, I am a shepherd to a unique individual. Shepherds are powerful people. They pick the pastures in which the sheep will graze and develop and grow. They determine whether they're appropriately nourished. They determine whether they're protected from harm. The environment is important, but it doesn't design the sheep. No shepherd is going to turn a sheep into a dog. Now, that comes with it a profoundly freeing view of parenting. Because what it means is, although it's important to be a shepherd, recognizing that this is a unique individual before you allows you to enjoy the show, right? So open a bottle of Chardonnay, kick off your slippers, sit back, and watch what takes place, right?
That's probably enough of that one. That's pretty well. I guess you're not, you don't have kids, but you get it. That's kind of been my approach.
No wonder why that resonates with you. I don't know. It's just reading some stuff online about, is it true that you used to go out during the day and, and come back at night as a kid after dark? And so there's everybody commenting, all these Gen Xers, and that was like kind of what they were like then.
Yeah, I have this other thread. I'm worried I could get into. I didn't listen to all these clips, so I'm worried.
You want to just wait till the second half for that then? Or?
No, it's not that kind of stuff. I'm just worried. Let me see if this. Okay, no, it's not AI. Let's jump into it. Let's try this one. This is from Open Minded Approach. The Grand Canyon has specific areas that are restricted or forbidden to public access, especially those of archaeological significance. such as ancient sites, certain sections of the Colorado River, and areas deemed too dangerous for general visitation. In fact, they even banned drone flights in 2014. So, what are they hiding? Forbidden ancient and antediluvian knowledge that could change your perception of reality and rewrite our entire history. How do I know this? Because they're doing it again right in front of our eyes. They know it is coming and they are preparing for it. An eye-opening thread. So the first one is this one is about Jeff Bezos and his clock, which we all kind of know about, but I think this is Jeff Bezos talking about it.
10,000 year clock is a physical clock of monumental scale. It's about 500 feet tall. It's inside a mountain in West Texas in a chamber that's about 12 feet in diameter and 500 feet tall. 10,000 year clock is an idea conceived by a brilliant guy named Danny Hillis way back in the 80s. The idea is to build a clock as a symbol for long-term thinking. And you can kind of just very conceptually think of the 10,000 year clock as it ticks once a year. It chimes once, every 100 years, and the cuckoo comes out once every 1,000 years. So it just sort of slows everything down. And it's a completely mechanical clock. It is designed to last 10,000 years with no human intervention. So the material choices and everything else. It's in a remote location, both to protect it, but also so that visitors have to kind of make a pilgrimage.
I wonder what kind.
I wonder if it tracks the time. Like, I know it cuckoos every 1,000 years, but does it count the cuckoos too?
Does it know what time it is?
Yeah.
How long it's been running?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell people that. At the same location as the clock, they will leave a tiny disc containing over 1,500 preserved languages, instructions on how to decode them, and 15,000 pages of the most crucial human knowledge. I wonder if there'll be any Epstein files in there, or maybe the global warming stuff. What do you think they'll put in the files? To read the disc, you won't need computers or electricity, just a microscope. It will be an artifact like the Antikythera mechanism found in ancient Greece, only far better preserved.
When you look at the Rosetta disk close up, and now these are some pictures that we have of pretty zoomed out. You can see on my disk there's little kind of points of light on there, and each one of those is a page. There's over 15,000 pages on this.
Doesn't that seem crazy that they can get that kind of resolution? I mean, you need some tech to be able to read this thing. You could find this thing and you don't even know what it is, and you're just like, is this your lucky charm or something? Meanwhile,
well, they had microscopes going back quite a ways.
Disc, and each one is a page that we scanned originally from a book that was in that language or talked about that language, the structure of the language, the vocabulary words of the language, stories in that language. And we have this for over 1,000 different languages. We also have the same kind of information for each language.
Seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
As if Texas wasn't enough, the Long Now Foundation also purchased a remote location in Nevada to build a second clock at an elevation of 11,000 feet, also inside a mountain. It's as if they're trying to protect this knowledge from a potential crustal displacement and massive waves, like those described in the Epic of Gilgamesh and the floods of Upnapishtim, Noah, Manu, Deucalion, and others. That's just the little thing.
Well, hang on. I got a question on that. Is that place that they found in Arizona? Is that in the in the map, in the survival area?
The clock?
Yeah. The remember, he's the one that's at 11,000 feet.
That's in Nevada. One's in
what's the zone you call it again? The Sunshine Zone or something? Or what's the zone?
New Valley of the Sun.
The New Valley of the Sun.
I don't call it that. That's what Ben Davidson calls it.
Is it there? Is it in that spot? Do you know it off the top of your head? Like,
I don't mind Ben Davidson. I'd like to live in the New Valley of the Sun with them, but we could be at opposite ends, so it'd be fine with me. I know,
but I'm saying, do you know where the Valley of the Sun is if you looked at a map?
It's basically the eastern side of the Rockies, all the way down.
Eastern side of the Rockies, all the way down. So
to Colorado, Arizona, all the way down. Follow the Rockies all the way down. He's in Colorado, I think.
So Arizona would be in that then. So they picked the right. I'm just wondering if they picked the right place for it. That's all. Like if they're following.
They could have come farther north where the mountains offer a little more protection, I think, in my opinion, if they asked me, but they didn't. Oh, I wonder if there's any. I wonder what the market's like for cataclysm survival consultation. The elites are aware of this cyclical geophysical event, and geomagnetic excursions are part of this mechanism. Currently, the shifting of the magnetic pole has reached a speed comparable to that observed during the Longchamp event 42,000 years ago, a period marked by sudden climate change and mass extinction that wiped out the Neanderthals. The Gothenburg geomagnetic excursion and the Younger Dryas climate change and mass extinction event overlapped. During that time, ocean currents collapsed, just as scientists are predicting today, and the current weakening of ocean circulation. This is a cyclical event. The same thing happened 6,000 years ago with the desertification of the Sahara and the Solovki geomagnetic excursion. There's this guy we've had on the show a few times now, Bill Ryan, talking about it all back in the day. That was in 2010. I mean, he did call a lot of stuff. I don't think we need to listen to it again, but he mentioned like COVID and all of it. The elites are building doomsday bunkers, and the shadow government is spending trillions in black budget money to dig underground cities. China has fortified the largest underground base in the world, capable of sheltering up to 1 million people. Switzerland, the only neutral company, has built more doomsday bunkers in the Alps, even though it has never been directly threatened. Let's see what I think this is about them.
More surprisingly, the Swiss government has turned the entire Alps into a huge bunker, equipped with luxury hotels, restaurants, public canteens, modern
Whenever there's luxury stuff, you're like, oh, that's stuff for me.
shower rooms, dormitories, hospitals, and
that's for us, the dormitory.
Giant generators. Just the room keys alone can fill a wall. The entrance to the bunker is through this dilapidated door. From outside the mountain, it's hard to
Anyway, we've already seen this one, I think, too, as well. So we'll just keep going. The link's in the show notes if people want to watch all the little videos. They know it's coming, and the future survivors will have to discover sites like the 10,000-year clock, but they will be left out from the common survivors, and the elite will control the world with their fancy technology again. So watch this video again at least once. We're not going to do that here. So that's the end of that thread. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's good. Can I share something to do with that?
Sure.
I kind of had it, but I wasn't going to do it. But this is completely AI, and I just want you to pick up on this. So this is the Door Brothers. We just made a 200 million AI movie in just one day. This is after that.
Oh, they didn't, though. They made like it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, you ready? That's a sea dance.
Do they have the? I've seen this. Do they have the other hour and a half of it just hidden someplace, or did they just make the 3 minutes?
I don't know. Let's
because making the full hour and a half and having them all like line up together in sequence, that's going to be the how many scenes do you have to make? You know, like a lot.
Yeah.
Keep the characters the same.
I'm really busy. Can you get Sophia today?
What? No, I have a meeting. I can't.
Oh, shit. Fine.
Reporting what is being called a geomagnetic storm. This is a phenomenon caused by a massive
Information as it comes available. Stay tuned to this channel for continuous coverage.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing because for the audio people, but the point was they're saying a geomagnetic storm, and then they show this big storm. So my point was, have you seen the AI videos? And a lot of them are showing cataclysms.
Yeah, but I bet you that's it's just showing cataclysms to us. So we're just going further down the cataclysm algorithmic hole here.
I don't think so. I think these are AI. These are AI videos for everybody to watch. This is the sea dance thing, and these AI.
Because there's a ton that aren't too. I mean, let's see if you can find out that more. I think it's just that the cataclysm ones are the one being shared with us. Remember, we did the Google Trend search. Actually, the flood stuff was up. Great Flood was up. So that was the one mechanism that was up. I do have a clip of your buddy, if you want me to play that. Stephen Greer.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard this one yet, but he's still trying to be relevant or being relevant. He's on Newsmax. whatever that is.
Okay. Dr. Greer, you have said publicly that this is outside Seoul, South Korea. Is that accurate?
One of them. Now, remember, I have debriefed almost 800 whistleblowers who've had direct involvement with this. One of them was with the Pentagon for about 8 years as a very senior investigator and had baseline clearance across 18 black project, unacknowledged special access projects. He specifically knew of the one in the mountains outside Seoul, South Korea. It was so huge, they had to build a structure around it. And he was read into this in between 2002 and 2010.
Okay.
So it had been there for some time. Now, I also know there are others that have been brought down in other locations. And if they're over a certain size, they're very, very hard to move. Imagine if they're bigger than a football field. And you're not going to put that on a semi. So it becomes logistically impossible to move it. And then in the United States, we know where there are some others, such as near Fort Sill, Oklahoma. There's a smaller one. They built a skiff, a facility around that one. We have its location. So I know that the congressman can speak, to what he's limited, but because I'm a private citizen, I can discuss these.
Congressman, are you referring to the location in South Korea?
I can't be specific to that location. But there are wide reports. What I can say is that I've seen articles that have pointed to a specific building, and from what I've been told, that is not the facility.
So they're talking about secret UFO bases.
It's coming, man. It's crazy. This is there's a bunch of fact checking on Trump's May 1st announcement, and there's the disclosure day coming out with Spielberg and the moon. Elon's focusing on the moon. I mean, does Elon not know that the dark side of the moon, like, are they going to allow humanity back all of a sudden? Is Elon making a deal with the dark side of the moon?
Elon has made the deal with the dark side already, with all the dark sides. I mean, he's getting paid by the dark side all the time, billions and billions of dollars. The richest guy in the world from getting paid from the dark side, mostly. I mean, I pay him a couple bucks too for my Starlink, but what the private citizenry is paying him is peanuts compared to what the.
Well, he's seeming pretty light compared to the rest of the dark side. I mean,
if we could figure out a way to just take the dark side's money but still spread the good, then I'd be into that.
Well, I think that's what Elon's doing. I'm not convinced he's with the dark side.
Well, this is the guy from the Y Files,
right?
Everyone's heard of the ancient hieroglyphics in Egypt, but what about the two Egyptian princes who got shipwrecked in Australia and created hieroglyphics about UFOs? Those are the Gosford glyphs. The Gosford origins are uncertain, but the writings do exist. The images and writing were discovered in the mid-1970s, the writings inscribed in the sandstone of the Brisbane Water National Park, and according to some, they contain secrets we don't yet understand. Stephen Strong, a researcher, says the sandstone is encoded with stories of UFOs. And the most ancient record of...
We had Stephen on.
We had Stephen and Evan Strong on the show multiple times, I think twice. At least one of them twice and both of them once. So people can check that in the back catalog just by searching Stephen and Evan Strong.
Egypt's history known to man. If true, it's one of the greatest discoveries in history. Or it's just a hoax. But you can see for yourself. The site is open to the public, and you just might see a UFO too, if you believe the legend encoded by two stranded Egyptian princes.
Cool.
I think it could just be more evidence of like the world culture, Just more about that.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, let me do my prize piece here. It's gonna be a lot of reading, unfortunately, but I think it's worth it. So this is the Shooting Bigfoot. Is about shooting Bigfoot. So this is submitted by witness on October 16th, 2004, but it's from 1941. The moose hunter shoots Bigfoot to death.
To death.
Yeah, approximately 15 miles west of Gypsumville, just southeast of Basket Lake, Manitoba, nearest road number 328. This report is submitted by BFRO member Kurt Nelson and is based on 2 visits to and many phone conversations with the witness. This is it down there. Should I read it? Environment is in thick bush, midday, clear conditions with patchy snow on the ground.
Sure.
Hear about it? At the beginning of May 2003, I took a trip into Manitoba to stay with a man with whom I'd been in telephone contact on and off for about a year. He was interested in Sasquatch. Sasquatch in Manitoba, Canada, that province above western Minnesota and eastern North Dakota, which stretches north along Hudson Bay where polar bears make their living. Which sounds weird, but whenever I look at the Bigfoot map, it is way more over on the east than there is in the Pacific Northwest.
No, I don't know. Are you sure?
Appalachians, it's all down around there. It's there's a lot in the Pacific Northwest, but there's even down into Florida and North Carolina. I guess people have been there for longer. It's
the skunk ape and stuff too, though.
Yeah, that'd be all that shit. It's hundreds of miles of bush laced through with lakes, including the Giants, Lakes Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Winnipegosis. In the winter, it's no place to be without a good plan for keeping warm and fed and out of trouble and the means to carry it out. Blah, blah, blah. The man, Peter, became interested in Sasquatch because he told me he knew for certain they are real and that they live there in Manitoba. He knew this for sure, he said, because he had the chance to look at one up close after he'd shot and killed it. He flipped its hand over with the toe of his boot to have a good look at its palm. It was very large and there were 5 fingers, one a thumb like a man's hand. The following account of the event came mainly from 2 visits I had with Peter. First in May of 2003 when I stayed with him for 3 days, and in September of that year when he put me up again for 2 days. We also talked about the shooting incident several times by phone. Before and since my visits, the word-for-word questions and Peter's answers presented here were mostly from the May visit. Anyway, it happened the first week of November 1941, 62 years ago, when Peter was 17 years old. He'd gone hunting for moose with 2 friends around Basket Lake, a small lake about 15 miles west of Gibsonville, a town near where Peter grew up and has always lived. The 2 friends hunted the east side of Basket Lake. Peter wanted to go to the west side, which he knew was good for moose and elk. There was patchy snow on the ground, and Peter found ambling moose tracks crisscrossing the area, indicating feeding animals. The spotty snow made tracking difficult, but he moved ahead. Sure enough, I did see one in the willows feeding with its head down, and it was a cow moose. No calf. I didn't see a calf and no horns, so I knew it was a cow. At that time, the bulls still have their horns, but in 1941, yet before the major fires, there were bush and willows so thick that you couldn't believe it. So you had to shoot through the willows. You didn't always have an open shot, so take a chance. So I did shoot because I knew take 1 or 2 steps and it would be gone. Where did you shoot? Where did you try to hit her? In the chest. Was she broadside? Pretty well, but not fully broadside. And I did shoot, fired a shot, and walked slowly. And yes, there was a bit of blood on the right side. As it's running, you could see where it sprinkled a little, and it didn't look good. I could see I didn't hit it properly. The bullet deviated from the brush, and I had no choice then, and the blood made it a little easier to track it. There was blood here and there. You could tell you were on the right track. So I tracked her slowly, I'd say for half an hour, but very slowly. And I looked in the willows again and I could see all this hair. So I thought to myself, well, I'll slow you up. And I took a good aim and fired. It disappeared. Looked like I got it. So this guy really doesn't have good shooting etiquette. I mean, this guy's just shooting at brown patches through the bush. Looked like I got it. So I walked up to it slowly. It wasn't far, 45 yards only. Because that's about as far as you could see in that stuff, if it was that far. But I took my time because when you approach a big game animal, you have to approach carefully. You carry your gun across your chest with your hand on the breech, ready to fire. If it jumps up at you, you have 1 good shot, point blank. Don't raise the gun to your shoulder, just turn it and pull the trigger. That's the last chance you got, because a big game animal, he gets you, you've had it. So I looked. I could see him, but what the hell is this? Holy buckets, he's lying there, and 1 foot was up. So I nudged him in the foot and slowly walked on this side, still hanging onto my rifle like I was supposed to. And I picked up the hand with my right foot so to see the bottom. And I walked around and I could see where I hit him in the back, high in the back, between the shoulder blades. He must have been bent over because to look at the moose track and the blood or something, I didn't see a head.
So this is Sasquatch right here. So
I think
holy buckets, he was lying there. 1 foot was up.
Yeah, he interrupted here, and to find out just how the thing. Oh, this is I think Peter. Peter explained that when he shot the animal, he thought he was looking at the rear end of his moose. Peter's view of the animal, and that given that shot, he tried to put the bullet just above where the anus should be. He said it's the only shot in that situation. Mostly, you wouldn't take that shot, I would say, as a hunter, but this was 60 years ago. The bullet travels above the gut, just under the spine, and up into the chest cavity. The creature had stood with its back to him, apparently had been looking down at the wounded moose's trail because he didn't see its head, the big shoulders and back. He thought he was looking at the moose's rump. His bullet meant to enter and travel just below the moose's backbone, had hit the animal between the shoulder blades, killing it on the spot. And this 1941 vintage 17-year-old who never heard of anything like a Sasquatch looked upon the creature he had slain and wondered and worried, and then became frightened, and he got out of there. Do you think it was just an Indian?
Like he killed an Indian?
Yeah.
No.
What did you do then? Did you literally run out of the woods? No, I walked very fast with 3-foot strides. What kind of gun were you using? A 38-55 Winchester. Oh, do you still have that gun? No, in fact, the RCMP man bought it for repairs because the barrel was worn out. An elk is real hard to turn over once it's dead. To turn over to skin it's a lot of work. What about this creature? How big was it? Could you have turned it over? Well, there's a knack, like you say, about turning an animal over. It depends how the brush is, but I always carried a piece of stiff cord, good cord, where you could tie the leg up to a willow tree, and you could roll him over like nothing. So how big was the creature? He was very between, I would say, like I'm 6 feet, and he'd have been 1.5 feet to 2 feet taller than I was, just estimating. What about heaviness? I didn't try, but I could have turned him over, but I've had to cut some willows. You see, it's very hard to estimate the weight when he's covered with hair. I walked around him and thought, holy God, what the heck am I going to do now? If there's any more of these things around, I don't want to be here. And I just got the heck out of there so fast you wouldn't believe it. I don't think I spent more than maybe 8 minutes with them. You've seen the Patterson creature with that turned out to be fake, didn't it?
No, they're still in dispute.
Do you think it looked about like that? Very much so. Well, I can describe his body. He has a big round chest, huge. He's got a big chest, really big. There's no skin showing. No, I didn't see any bare skin except a little on his face. What about the palms? They were bare, and the bottoms of his feet, they were bare, but they weren't white. Let's say he's not a very hygienic creature. He doesn't wash or anything, so his skin is dirty and a little brown, but white like my dirty hands. Not only a little dirty, and heavy fingers and big palms and opposable thumbs. And a big palm, like when I close my hand like this and cover my face. Really, so his palm was proportionally bigger than a human's palm? Yeah, it's longer and deeper, like it's a big palm. What about the foot? Does it match the footprints people have been casting? Absolutely. The foot had 5 toes. So did his coat look warm, his fur coat? Most animals have an underfur, and I didn't notice that on that animal. That he had a short fur underneath. Of course, didn't touch him.
His foot was 15 inches long. Wow.
That's a good one, right? Witnesses always say whenever they talk about it, it was covered in hair. And I think you'd never describe a bear as being covered in hair. You'd say it had fur. So why do people always describe Bigfoot as being covered with hair? It's because it looks like hair. And here he he says it looks like hair, not fur. I think that's curious. The northern animal like that has to survive here wouldn't have a coat that was essentially like bears, with a good undercoat that's good and thick. Well, you know what? You're talking about a humanoid animal, but all I can say is it looks like hair, not fur. Like a man lets his hair grow scraggly and, long, and that's what it looks like, a hair. That's why I say it's hair, because it looks like hair. It seems like they were maybe arguing a little at that point. And I mean, then he kind of goes on a little more talking about the hair. I need you to comment again about your thinking and not telling anybody about it. I mean, it's a very important point, and it's an obvious question that everybody has. Well, for one, I was very shocked to see this thing, and it was during the war years, World War II. And the thing was, people can be very funny if you talk about something that's out of line. Right away, you're crazy. You're not all there, you know? And I did a lot of thinking myself. I could not place an animal in my brain like that. Was it half human, half ape, or something, or an Indian, or something like that? The thing is, this is just a year or two ago. People were calling me stupid and believing such a thing. You're crazy to believe in those things. Today, never mind 60 years ago. Anyway, and he talks about some Aboriginal people that said they were seeing this thing too, what I shot, from their stories. And it turns out he was hunting illegally. I had no license to hunt for moose. I had no license. I may have had, I don't remember, a deer license, but I didn't. Wasn't fussy about shooting deer because they're a small animal and you don't get very much meat for a day's work. So he was poaching and shooting at black spots in the woods. I mean, he could have just shot a big Indian dude. With
No. He knows he knows it's a Sasquatch.
Then you'd probably just shut your mouth. Anyway,
that was good.
Yeah, pretty good one, hey?
Yeah, I mean, see, if he would have had to look into its eyes, he wouldn't have been able to pull the trigger, you know.
There's this rendition of it, this little picture.
Nice.
We shot Bigfoot in the back. There he is, the old dude. Well, possible Indian killer or possible Bigfoot killer. We don't know for sure. Could be either way. That's a good one, though, eh?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not sure where I found that.
Should I do the drones then, or what?
Yeah, you might as well do that now. And then I got some filler stuff if you come up short.
I don't think I will come up short, but as long as you're done with your thing, then
yeah, I don't have anything important.
So this is just like I've been accumulating fascinating drones and robots, right? Just to see where they're at. So I've gotten quite a few now, so I wanted to just share them with you to see what you think. So here's an example of how fast this technology is moving. Now, this is some of the stuff we're going to argue whether it's AI or not or CGI or not, but this one, it seems like this is the real. In China, they do have these robot dancers, right? So here's 2025 on the bottom, and there's 2026 on the top, right? This is the Chinese Spring Festival Gala. You can't imagine how fast Chinese humanoid robots are evolving. In just 1 year, they have evolved from robots to humans.
Any chance those are dudes in suits?
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it, eh? That one they kind of look like dudes in suits sometimes.
I mean, look at how they're jumping and doing flips and stuff. And I mean, I don't think.
Why does a robot need a springboard?
Well, it's to get it up higher, I guess. But
a robot should just be able to jump right on the spot and do those things. I'm telling you, this is trickery. Those are dudes in suits.
Trickery.
This is Chinese trickery.
Okay, here's one for the future of factories. This is from Kirk Lubimov, right? They're dark factories. Have you heard about this?
That's where we want the robots in the factory.
It may seem like a normal industrial building.
I always have problems with the volume on this.
But a look inside this Chinese factory provides a glimpse into the future of the car-making industry. Here, almost all the lights are off, yet the assembly lines are working at full speed.
Pause it.
Nearly everything is automated.
But ironically, this is a news announcer that lost his job first.
Yeah.
With only a handful of employees, vastly outnumbered by hundreds of robots. This dark factory can produce up to 1,200 electric cars a day and requires almost no lights or heating.
So that's what's I thought I'd just play up to now. 1,200 cars a day. Like, can you even fathom that coming off the assembly line? 1,200 a day?
I don't know. I'll check.
Another instance of machines replacing humans, designed to maximize profit.
I don't like the way they say that. It's not, I mean, sure, it's maximizing profit, but it's not just because that. It's just more efficient. You don't need to use humans. I mean, it's not a big conspiracy on why it's happening. So here's from Brian Rommel. So I trust, his post. That's kind of one of the reasons why I think this is real. The Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center has unveiled Tiankong 3.0.
Stellantis makes 436 vans a day.
Yeah. Crazy.
The total Canadian auto industry produces 3,300 vehicles a day.
Yeah. So this is one factory that does 1,200 a day. Crazy.
With robots.
With robots in the dark.
What?
So here's this one. It's equipped with 43 degrees of freedom and a new embodied intelligence platform. The robot is designed for autonomous operation in complex environments. High torque joints capable of navigating 1 meter obstacles and performing precision tasks. It's 100% open source. So sorry for the audio, people. This is just like a video of him doing feats. Fully autonomous, more open. Got up from being on his bum. Joint peak torque 400 Nm, 43 degrees. Human-like walking. All right, we don't have to play the rest of that, just to give you an idea. So here's a controversy that's just coming up today. I don't know if you've seen this one. A new Atlas robot which is interesting, Atlas from Boston Dynamics, showcasing smooth human-like movement and advanced mobility beyond human limits. Have you seen this?
Well, pause it. Hopefully it is beyond human limits, because those China ones look like they were just doing human limit stuff. Like they need a little springboard. He needs a springboard to do some flips like a little Chinaman does. I mean, come on.
Look at the dancing here. So everybody's saying this is fake and it's CGI because that thing's moving in the video right there.
Either way, I could dance like that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of some 80s dancing, actually. It says this video is CGI, not real footage of Boston Dynamics. But then Grok down here says this video is real footage from Boston Dynamics' latest Atlas robot demo, showcasing its AI-driven fluid movements. The robot did perform these dance-like actions. No fakes here. So there's a bit of a controversy. And then there's this here. So this one made this guy pause. This is from Pascal Bornet. It's a robot made of liquid, not flexible, liquid. It can split, merge, squeeze through tiny spaces, then reform. When it breaks, it heals itself. No motors, no joints, no rigid body. I've spent years thinking about AI as the brain of machines. This feels like the first glimpse of something else. A body that does not have.
It's a T-1000, remember?
Yeah.
In Terminator?
Or black goo.
What's that?
It's like that thing from X-Files and that whole theory of the black goo that's like this intelligent goo that can do that. So here's
we were talking about Prometheus earlier.
Yeah.
The one takeaway from that is the robot turned out to be a real asshole.
So here it is moving through that. You see that? Moves through and gobbles up that thing.
Researchers demonstrated a liquid robot called PB, or particle
That'll be
armored
you
liquid
getting
robot.
gobbled up.
It can change shape, grab things, fall from small heights, divide and merge, all without collapsing or leaking. The team tested it on a little mission, where it collected a dangerous material, neutralized it, and brought it to safety, as we can see in this video.
I wonder if it can climb.
That, see, to me, seems more like the future. Being chased around by little amorphous blobs that just get bigger and more energy when they consume you than like a humanoid.
So there you go. We got the soft robots. And now we got this.
Through it. The boats just shoot right through it and it just gets back together.
Now this is a Elonic robots from Cyber Robo. He says this is feels like a real leap in robotics hardware. This is 3D tissue braiding, basically weaving high strength fibers around a minimal rigid skeleton, the way human connective tissue wraps around bone. So it's showing it how it's making its own sort of. Can you see that? With all the it's like a
robot.
Yeah. So it's making like finger tissue.
Gross.
Like that. Through all those, and it's all the robots that are woven like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here's another one from Brian Romelli. The Agentic Guard Tower, a new standard in elevated security, combines autonomous intelligence, armored protection, and persistent overwatch into a rapidly deployable platform. Yes, it's real. Have you seen this?
How many of those things do you think they got ready to rock?
I know, right? It's like you can walk in, and so it can. It's like it almost looks like an explosion-proof or bulletproof little tower that you can. I mean, this is like. So this reminded me of the ancients with their tours, right? Like the Nicaragua on Sardinia and all that, right? They built towers for a reason, right? So you can climb up and look out and be protected from inside.
And fuck people up.
And here we are. I wonder if there's like just automatic weapons in there already, if there's like arrow slit holes or something like that.
Arrow slit holes?
Arrow slits.
You think there's arrow slits in there?
Oh, look, I even made a comment about modern Nicaragua
screens and everything else, and then they got arrow slit holes in this bitch. What the fuck are you thinking?
Oh, for guns, whatever, for projectiles.
A gun porthole.
Yeah. So here's some UUVs, underwater propelled driven torpedo shaped vehicles. So here we go with autonomous torpedoes. UUV swarms are doing the same at sea. So now we've got these drones that are reshaping land warfare. Now we've got them in the sea. So here's one. Instead of wheels or rigid legs, this is an elongated multi-leg robot. So you notice how some of these look like look like animals, right?
Control Robotics is a team of Georgia Tech researchers building multi-legged solutions for anywhere mobility. Our commercial model, Scuttle, applies the principles learned in the lab. Its multi-legged, elongate, mechanically intelligent design unlocks locomotion anywhere.
I mean, it's pretty creepy. It looks just like a bug, basically, like a caterpillar.
Centipede.
Yeah. And here's this guy. It's more like a Pacific Rim style Jet Jaeger or the Kawasaki's robot horse. Here, actually, fun stuff we saw at the International Robot Expedition in Tokyo. Pacific Rim style Jaeger, Kawasaki's robot horse, kimono wearing child robot, and Hyundai's mobility robot. So here's the Jaeger. That looks pretty cool. I imagine getting inside one of those. There's the robot horse. That's what I want. That's like picture dystopian hunting. That's kind of creepy. The kid. So let's see here. This one here's the robot horse here. Imagine climbing mountains on that thing. Hunting on that.
It sucks when the battery dies and you gotta haul it out too. I like that he's wearing it.
I was thinking, man, when we powered by hydrogen, it feels like a sci-fi creature. I mean, Corleo, a four-legged robot that runs, climbs, and jumps like a horse. I was thinking that when I went hunting with you. I'm like, we need robot horses and all these coolies.
So you can get even more out of shape.
Yeah. So here's the T800, the engine AI, no CGI, no AI, no cuts, just raw, uncut, 4K 60 frame per second video of the T-800 being the world's most promising fighting robot. I mean, it really is reaching a new level, right? He's just in his fighting stance there. Right? I mean, this is where we're getting here. Let's see this.
Not looking good. I don't want to fight a robot.
Here's Boston Dynamics humanoid robot. Everybody's playing catch up.
That's the same one I was dancing.
Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah. Wow. And then here's more of like a utility robot. So it's like a drone, but it has an octopus arm. So they're again copying like nature with tentacles and stuff, right? So this one has tentacles, robotic tentacles that can pick stuff up, like a tennis ball even, or pick up other things. Look at that. Creepy, eh?
What am I looking at?
Oh, what?
Real, or is that like an animation?
This. Oh, you think it's animated? Well, no, I think it's real. The tentacle, you can see the tentacle. Yeah. Was I not sharing it before? Was I sharing that?
You were sharing it. Yeah, you were sharing it.
Okay.
I was just doubting it.
Okay. So here's the one that got me on this whole thing. So this is a guy who's made swords, like drones that are flying through, look like swords. So he can do all these like expressions and stuff, and get these swords flying around like some like anime sci-fi movie. So lots of cool technology. So here's a couple more, and I'm almost done here. This is like a 0.6 centimeters. So what would that be? 6 millimeters?
6 millimeters.
6 millimeter mosquito-like spy drone designed for stealth, surveillance, and intelligence gathering.
Also known as a quarter of an inch.
Quarter of an inch. Yeah, quarter of an inch. Yeah, crazy. There it is right there. Mosquito I-7, 12th generation. Ouch. I wonder what the other generations look like.
And then I just smack it.
And then here's another one that's running like a... Look at this. So it's capturing like
the main use for these things is going to be to just cram them full of C4 and launch them stuff to explode.
Yeah, because it can travel over almost anything, climb over stuff, like, super fast.
Yeah, if you got 100 of those things coming across the field at you,
so
can get through.
Yeah, so supposedly this is an AI, not an AI video. And that's just a swarm of humanoid robots running after this guy. Oh, there's that springboard guy again. So that looks like in the warehouse of where they make those things.
Where they make bullshit.
Where they make springboards. So Boston Dynamics will begin production of the new Atlas robot at its Boston headquarters immediately. So, I mean, none of this had Teslas either. I mean, this is all like none of this was Tesla. So
we should get a robot. Can stay at your house.
Yeah.
Well, what to do? I guess maybe I will finish off.
It's pretty fascinating, though, don't you think?
Yeah, it's cool. Some of it's cool. Some of it's terrifying.
Yeah, I try not to be. I mean, of course, it's, it is a bit dystopian, but it's also kind of like just modern. It's going to happen. I mean, it's just happening. So part of me is just trying to have a level of acceptance with all this stuff without getting too crazy.
Well, why don't we finish it off with this Zuby? You know Zuby?
Yeah.
Zuby's noticed Canada. What do you think he noticed?
He noticed probably how the media is reacting to the trans shooter.
Quebec has now killed more people in the globe than anywhere else. Keanu, that was 26 with diabetes and depression. He was killed this year. Mrs. B applied for MAID, was qualified. Anyway, last minute, she withdrew her request for MAID and they killed her same day anyway. These are not small cases. Also go to some of these places and they kill children.
Whoa. Wait.
You're gonna sleep great tonight, Brett.
What is going on in Canada?
The individuals that are utilizing the MAID death program are 96% white Canadians. They encourage your whole family to watch the procedure happen, which is also really dark, really horrific, including children. And then you realize why, and you realize it saves an awful lot of money. $1.273 trillion, that's enough of an incentive for a government to continue the program. Forget the morality. Forget how much they're making off of organs, which is a whole different podcast on.
Whoa. Stop clip.
Stop clip.
What did she say? Trillion what? Who's making a trillion? What?
1.2 trillion is what they're saving by not taking care of people anymore.
I don't believe that. That's too much.
I don't know.
That's our whole. I mean, 1.2 trillion is our what do you call it?
That'd be probably cumulative of all those people over all the years. I don't know how many they kill now.
Our unfunded liabilities of healthcare, or our pension is 1.2 trillion.
Plus the pension money that they get to save too. Is that as well?
That's probably why I don't know why she's bringing up that number. It happens to be the same as the pension number.
Let's see.
Which is a whole different podcast on its own. Forget how much they're making off of organs, which is a whole different podcast on its own.
It's okay.
Over 80% of patients that get killed with this program have heavy lungs, which can only indicate two things: death by waterboarding or death by drowning. The drugs are non-FDA approved for killing. We don't know how they work. So that's Canada in a nutshell. And Canada feels too far gone.
Too far gone. That sounds familiar. Anyway, speaking of too far gone, we're too far gone down the free section of the show. We're going to transfer over to the plus section. Of course, head over to Grimerica Outlawed.ca to sign up for plus, get your free month, or just sign up and help support the show that way. But you can try out a free month anyway. Grimerica.ca for the podcast, contact at thecabin.com for trips and events, and adultbrain.ca for audiobooks and ebooks and all sorts of book stuff. And we'll shut down these streams until next week. And you want to start us off in the second half of the show?
Yeah.